Hey Tenders, it's your girl Ash. I have not done a video in a while, um, but I am back because I've had a lot of things on my mind. Um, we are in the last week of December, moving into 2018, and to be honest, I don't even know where 2017 went. Um, I feel like I can recall the end of each quarter, but throughout the months, all 12 months, I honestly like it's just like gone by. Everything just seems to merge together. And I think anytime moving from one year to the next, you always have these thoughts and recollection of where you were a year ago. So the things that you were setting out to accomplish, that you wanted to grow from, wanted to improve, or just wanted to experience. And then setting those forth, and then coming into the new year or at the end of the present year, you're looking at from the things that you forecasted, what you did and did not accomplish. And it's just crazy how fast time goes by. And because of this time, I have seriously been in a lot of thought of the things that I went through this year, the things that were blessings, the things that were struggles, and going into some of the things that I want to move forward into 2018. And sorry if I have a glare on my glasses, but you still can see. But I know there's a glare there, so my apologies. But 2018, when I think of and going into 2018, first of all, there's this sense of like hopefulness, and I'm excited. I'm excited, and I'm praying and wanting to release a lot of things. And some people have like a mantra going into a new year. So if I have to think of like certain things that I want to be my mantra, would be just do it. And the year, yes. I've been listening to interviews, and I mean, this has been a while back where Shonda Rhimes like did her book, The Year of Yes, but I've been listening to like podcasts and interviews because I really need to push through to allow myself to do certain things and to experience certain things. In correlation with that, I like to group the year or the upcoming year into words per se. So for me, 2018 would be one of freedom, one of love, and then one of service. And one of the things that is stopping me from doing all those things is isolation. Isolation needs to go. I don't know how to let it go. I don't even know where to start to let it go. But what I do know is recognition is the first step. And for me, I need to let go of isolation. I love YouTube, and I'm pretty sure other people have heard of it, this thing called like the dark night of the soul. And I feel like the last 3 years have been one of trying to really figure out who I am. And I'm really growing into that woman that I want to be. Of course, there's things that I need to let go. And I know some people may think like, you know, you don't know who you are, or, you know, because I'm in my early 30s, but I just think that sometimes you just take on so much of what the world wants you to be, and you have so many distractions. If you go to work Monday through Friday and you're working at home, you really have to make a conscious effort to work on yourself, to really heal and dig through those things, to really even find out who you are. So it is a process, and age is not even a factor that's incorporated into that. But this dark night of the soul, or more so of a cocoon, where it is crucial. And I am an introvert, and I recruit from my alone time, but it's gone more than a love. like a need, in a not so good way, where isolation for me during this time of dealing with that dark night of the soul, and trying to understand things, and spiritual warfare, and mentally, emotionally, dealing with certain things, anxiety, nervousness, and trying to blend into this world and find your own space to be just freely unapologetic and authentic. It takes work. That is not a natural skill, and there's people that are few and far in between who are birthed into this world who possess that quality. But for most people, it really takes a lot of healing, takes a lot of shedding, of releasing what people put on you, what the world put on you, to figure that out. But for me, I have learned to use isolation as a safety mechanism and protection and a shield. And it's tricky because you have this great amount of love that you want to share and that you express within your home, but you just don't want to go out. It's like you have to muster up to even get out and go out, to push yourself to do certain things. And I've noticed, just cutting things off, like not being the best friend, not being the best daughter, not being the best co-worker, because it's just cold-blooded, just cutting, not severing the tie, but just this need for wanting and thriving off of that isolation, just cutting people off, and disconnecting myself and pushing people away as this form of protection. And that really has to go. And that is going to be one hell of a process for me, because by cutting people off, you miss the conversations, you miss the laughs, you miss the experiences, you miss all of that, and it affects every area of your life. And I'm sure aligned with, like I said, I struggle with anxiety, I struggle with nervousness, and I think that more so over this past year, it's like ripping a Band-Aid off, where I see how it has affected me, whether it be dating, on the job. So that's going to be a struggle, because I know that through life, I can't do this thing by myself. I do love my alone time, and I don't think that'll ever go away, but transitioning from proportioned alone time versus just wanting and thriving off of just total isolation. Because I'm never going to take anything in, and it's not really considerate either. But finding that median of having my barriers and my boundaries, and knowing when my tank is empty, but really, you thrive off of that. When you think and reminisce, the trips that I've taken with my friends, and laughing and talking about, men, and just life, and just experiences, that is truly added value. So for me, I want to try to shed isolation, and by shedding that isolation is saying yes. When I said Shonda Rhimes, the year of yes, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying, because it pushes you out of your comfort zone, and my home is my treasure. So in conversation, and really feel like forcing myself to interact with people and be around other people is really, I don't know. I can say that it's difficult. It's very difficult, but I know that I needed to really break free. So that I am praying for. And then also, when they say write it down, make your vision plain and write it down. sometimes I feel like me and God know that God watches me. I know that there is a God. There's something like greater than myself. I don't like to uh, like specify me personally. I believe in Jesus, but I think that through the religions, that thing of the Holy Spirit, that thing that pushes the earth and moves everything around, and that's really in control, is really the same thing. It's just people's different perspective on what they choose to uh, define it as. But to me, that one thing is universal. It's just humans, putting a name or a claim onto things. But I have this battle because sometimes I can hear it, he or she, that spirit, like clear as day. But when I'm not in a place of surrender, I'm not aligned and I'm not in my flow, I just can't. And sometimes there is a rare, like, drop the mic moment, like even in my sometimes, if I'm honest, disobedience and this resistance of moving and doing things when asked to do it in that moment of, resistance. But outside of that, when I feel disconnected, every now and then there's just like a drop of the mic where I hear this phrase, like, okay, I don't have any other explanation. It may be 4 words that I'm like, okay, you showing me that I'm connected. Whereas sometimes when you're aligned, you're just naturally flowing. You have signs everywhere. Numerology, the conversations you have, the things that randomly come on, the environment, the birds, the butterflies. Anything can be used to kind of like sink you. But I know that in shedding the isolation is going to be crucial to let go of things. And like I said, I got kind of sidetracked, but writing it down and making it plain. Not being afraid to put those things down, because when you put it on paper, it's powerful. It's very powerful, and I have to do my part. So in prayer, the things that I'm asking, because I know that I'll receive them. But he or she can't do everything for me. So when I ask to break those moments of isolation, when I ask for those spiritual leaders to be mentors, and ask to, find love, or ask to be asked on a date, or ask, is this man my husband? He will, and I've just had this like in a few months, like, as far as dating, like writing this person's name down and, seeing this person, and it's not a coincidence. And then I write down what I want, and then it happens where it's put on the table, and I just go into isolation. It's like, what is that? So it's just like praying for and knowing that you need that breakthrough. Because with me personally shedding that, I'm like, I know that when I ask for it and I'm sincere and I'm intentional, that you're going to give me that opportunity to put it on the table. And you're going to kind of show that precious apple that's the brightest red and that is plump, and it's like right there. But I have to actually take the apple out of the holder's hand. And me coming out of isolation to take the apple, even though the thing is just right there on the table, I can see it, I can smell it. It's just taking that apple, just whatever that thing is, just taking it. So to pray for it to be able, to receive it. When you ask me to move, help me to move. When you ask me to say certain things, say it. When you ask me to transition into different things, that I do it. That when the opportunities are presented in front of you, whether you feel like you're qualified or not, or especially if you ask for it and it's given like right there, it's just a matter of giving me what I need to take it. So I'm excited. When I listen to all the interviews about the year of yes, like I can't just go to work and come home. And through that and allowing myself to break that wall down. I don't know if it's just afraid of being hurt or what, but just to release so I can serve, be used, to express myself and to be myself, and learning, of course, to be, authentic all the time, because, we can be shapeshifters and put on hats and do different things, but really at the core of me. And just praying to come out of isolation, to really, to receive the things that I want. Like, things don't always have to be a struggle, and I don't always have to be like in a certain place. I've had many blessings, throughout my life, and life lessons, but really understanding it. Excuse me. Really understanding it and kind of like taking it in. But 2018 isolation have to go. And I'm sure a lot of you out there are thinking, but if you haven't, just take the opportunity to really dig deep, to take out the things that you want to release, because we all are powerful beings. I am a powerful being. And I'm really ready to shine my light. And I know that I'm honest with myself. This year, a lot of work. And I need continued prayer to really continue to shed those things that I can really just let it down. So I pray for all of you tenders, and I hope that you stay blessed and stay connected, y'all. Love you guys. Bye.